Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Unemployed to Unstoppable with Cove Rangers as we take our foray into the championship. As you can see, the squad is looking much smaller, 17 now with one made-up player, one lone player and 3 under 18 players in there as well. Massive rebuild on the card, so let's get into the transfer window. Welcome back. So here we go. I've plumbed all the players into the squad planner to see what we kind of maybe need moving into the next season. A lot of players have already moved on in terms of loans going back. There's still a few more players who want to sell. So the way I've kind of gone through this is in terms of a goalkeeper, I think we need to bring in a new first choice goalkeeper with Balint Demas becoming the backup. So that's one. Harrington's going to leave, so I think we need 2 left backs, 1 first choice and then 1 upcoming. Now we can potentially bring one from the under-19 squad, but it depends how good that first player is and how reliable we think he might be. Same at right back, maybe bring in a first team right back and Cameron Rowley can be the understudy. He's still only 21 years old. I'm thinking 2 centre halves because Taj wants to go, leaving us with Gilchrist and McGrath, but I think we need 2 more. Again, this player's in the youth development squad, but I'm not sure they're ready. So I think 2 centre halves. So that's a right back, 2 centre halves, 2 left backs. That's 5 straight away. Midfield, I think generally we're all right. We've got Alex Ferguson, who's going to be the defensive midfielder. Cole Donaldson, who can be the understudy in that position. And then moving forward, we've got Carl Turner, Gilligan. We've got Rashwell coming back from loan. Cole Donaldson as well. Maybe one centre midfielder. I've added that to the old shopping list. And then right wing, I think we need 1 new first choice. McGrattan become an understudy. And on the left, Kai Kennedy, and he becomes the understudy. And then up top, Joe McGlynn will be the first choice. Now, I've already signed Jose Calleja, who's been released by Rangers, waiting on a work permit, but that may or may not come. If the work permit comes, then I think we've got our understudy up top to rotate through, so it's no longer a priority. However, if the Calleja work permit doesn't come through, I think we need to go out and bring somebody else in. I don't know. Let's have a look at his overview. I think he looks like an alright player. He's got some potential in him. Young Portuguese. It's just pivoting on whether we can get a work permit for him or not. But otherwise, I'll keep looking in the free transfer market. In terms of our budgets, which must be in here somewhere, if I can find the old finances page, must be club finances. Has it got the transfer budget? No. So wage wise, we've got about $9,000 in the bank in wages, so we're pretty good in terms of that. In recruitment, what have we got transfer budget wise? Come on, 77,000. So £77,000, 9.4k wage budget. Predominantly looking on free transfers. I make it we need nine players for this squad. 4 of them can probably be loans, so maybe 5 really good signings to soak up some of that budget, wage budget, and then we'll see what we can do in terms of Aberdeen and St Johnstone late in the transfer window to bring in some loans on a no obligation wage. So it should be quite an interesting transfer window to try and get us up and about. In terms of, we can't look at the the preview yet. I'll click through and get us into July when contracts expire, free agents pop up on the market. I'll set up some scout reports or some recruitment requirements for the positions we've said, and then I'll be back in July maybe to see what comes through the scouting network and whether we can make any signings to make progress on our run into the championship. And here we go. We're currently at the 26th of June. The preview for the season has us finishing bottom. Currently first place on alphabetical order, but they've got us at 50 to 1, so not a million miles away, but I think we've got some ground to make up in terms of transfers. Squad's still pretty small at 17 players and 4 of them are imaginary. Got 1 player in on trial, which is Brooklyn Kabongolo. Not looking like he's going to be particularly promising, but we'll see how he sits after the 2-week period. We'll maybe sign him up depending on how his stats pan out. But we're still waiting on some of the transfer recommendations to come in to see what's available on the free transfer market. St Johnstone's affiliation is finished as well because they're now in the same division as us. That only leaves us really with the Aberdeen players as the best option for low-cost value players bringing into the squad. So lots to do. 1 bid in for 1 player at central midfield. Looks like he's going elsewhere. But we'll keep going through the transfer window and seeing what becomes available. And the midfielder who we thought might go elsewhere has actually agreed to join us. So Cam Bragg, 22-year-old midfielder, had bids in from Cheltenham, Yeovil and Adrionians, one of the teams we competed with last season. He's coming in as a rotation option in midfield just to give us that extra player to rotate between the defensive and the central role. Stats looking pretty good in terms of where we are at this level, and in terms of his current ability, he's got a good 3.5-star current, up to 4-star, maybe 5 potential. So he comes in potentially on paper slightly better than Alex Ferguson in that position, but certainly a good rotational option in there. And as far as the start to the transfer window goes, pretty good. So we'll tick one off, about 8 more players to go, and then we should be pretty well sorted for going into the Championship. And we're starting to get some intermediary suggestions in. So Ronell Young suggested as a player to us, A-, so terrific signing. Attacking midfield, play on the right and the left, so might be particularly useful. Can also play up top. What's he got? Is he weak on his left, very strong on his right foot, so maybe a rotation more on the right than on the left-hand side, unless the left-hand side is an inside forward. But Wrexham under 21, Englishman. I think we might just take a punt on him and try and see what we can do. He's got a price tag on him because he's with the Wrexham under 21s, so that might limit us somewhat because we've only got 77,000. But if there's anything towards him approaching end of a contract type stuff or getting a maybe even a loan bid, depending on where we are, we might bring him in. But that's the kind of player we're currently getting through the scouting network, and we'll see if any more come in, preferably on a free transfer or a loan. But it just shows that they are bringing in some players. In terms of our recruitment focuses, I did stick a whole load in, if I can find out where there's the recruitment focuses. So I've set them up for centre forward, right and left wing, centre back, right back and left back. So they should all start coming in and hopefully getting us some recommendations. Currently only got the 2, which was from a William Hill League 1 perspective. But when the scouts scouting about, we should hopefully get a lot more coming through. There should be a couple more on player recommendations. So we've got a fullback at St Mirren recommended. Again, don't really want to pay anything in particularly, but I'll get through some more of these and see if we can get any more on a free transfer. So they're coming in thick and fast. Maybe not the ones we want just yet, but if we can get players that a club perhaps wants to get shot of on the cheap, maybe we can do some kind of deal with them to bring them into the club. Another one coming in on a trial, we've got Isapa Asong. He's a Cameroonian forward, current 3.5-star current, maybe up to 5 potential. Perceived to have quite a bit of pace on him, so that's one of his main stats, and can finish. So again, work permit dependent. We might just try and stick in a cheeky little contract to him. If we get a work permit, we'll take him. If it's rejected again this time, I won't take a punt. We'll just we'll cancel it and move on. But he's looking like he might be all right. And again, if he's got some really rapid pace, it might be something we can do in terms of playing the ball over the top and trying to capitalise on high back lines. But another one to maybe tick off the shopping list, but I'm still hoping we get some more winger type players coming through the scouting network. Welcome back. So I've played through to the end of the transfer window. We're currently on the 2nd of September. We've played some games, both in cup competitions and in the league. It's time to take you through the transfers, the business, what we've done, whether we achieved our goal of getting them kind of 8 to 9 key positions. I think it's been a largely successful window. But here we go. In terms of the players out, Ryan Harrington, he went out to the New Saints, £1,900 pounds. So moved him out as a left back. Not really the ability to get into the squad. So we've moved him on, reduced the wage budget, hopefully bring in somebody slightly better. Jose Calais, who we'd brought in on a free transfer when Rangers released him, never got a work permit in the end, so we've just sent him out on loan to USL Dunkirk. Hopefully he'll get some requisite league games through to get him a work permit next season, but a bit of a disappointment. That's one where I've dropped the ball and just took a punt on signing him, hoping the appeal would go through, but we've missed out. Mitch Megginson, we let go on a free transfer. He wasn't going to get any game time ahead of the strikers we've got, and we have another new striker in there as well, so he's moved on. Aaron Darch, he's only just recently moved on. Again, a free transfer. Only leaving is really Fraser Fivey to be the last one to try and move on from the club, but he recently rejected a move to East 5, so he's still currently with us. So that's the outs. In terms of the ins, you'd already seen Callum Bragg in midfield. We then boosted our central defender with Oliver Green coming in from Aberdeen. Now, he was originally partnered alongside Carroll, who was also on loan from Aberdeen. His loan has now finished. We tried to get him back in again, but he's chose to go to St Mirren instead. So Missed out on that one, but we've got Oliver Green to come in as a first choice centre half, decent championship player with potential to be in the Premier League. Also from Aberdeen, we've brought in Joseph Teasdale, a winger on the left hand side. Now he is quite good on that left hand side, but his defensive part of the formation when we drop deep isn't quite up to speed. So we've been persevering with him a little bit. Whether he becomes first choice or not, certainly going forward and when we've got the ball, he's brilliant. On the other side, not quite sure we can keep him out there long term till he learns the position, but still a good signing with no outlay. Kian Atete, we brought in as a free agent striker. He's far and away better than all the other players in the club, and I think when you see him in the match as well, he's massive. He looks so much bigger than everyone else, much more physical, and I think he's going to get us a huge number of goals this season. Fingers crossed moving forward. Certainly his physicals, his mentals and his technicals have all got a fairly good spread in across the middle range of the attributes, so I think he's probably going to be signing of the season, but we'll see how the season pans out. Ronell Young, who we'd looked at previously, we couldn't get him in on a transfer, so we've put him in on loan from Wrexham. Again, he looks like a really handy player on that right hand side. Again, really good going forward, not quite so good coming back and doing the defensive bits, but I think again growing into it, we'll see. And we might adapt the formation to suit them two wide players and take the burden off them defensively, but we'll see as we move forward. Ben Goodliff comes in. He comes in as a centre half on a free transfer. Again, just to boost them options around the centre half. We let Darge go. Carroll was moving away on loan. So one of them areas I think we always need to remain strong is centre half, because with the odds expected on us to finish bottom of the league, that's where we need to be really sound defensively. Sean Rooney comes in as a right back. Again, in terms of his current ability, he looks like a really solid player. He's got a tremendously strong beard, so that means he will be a phenomenal right back. His mental stats are really good. Maybe not so good in the physical as we would have liked. He's a good, strong player. He's good at heading. He does sit a little bit more of a centre back than a right back, but I think at that right back option, he's going to do well for us. Harvey Davies came in as a goalkeeper to strengthen up the options. He made actually the media dream 11 as a goalkeeper, so I've got high hopes for him coming forward and keeping in some clean sheets and driving us out the little 1 pointers we need to remain in the division. And I think he's a huge upgrade on what we had previously. So again, another key position sorted. Brooklyn Nfonku brought in as a free agent. Again, midfield attack on the left hand side. Another option in there. I think he's slightly better on the defensive side, not quite as good on the attacking side, but again, at 20-year-old coming in as just a rotational player, I think one of them wingers is a key position for us. Evan Taylor, we spent 10,500 on him. I panicked a little bit because I couldn't find anyone who was suitable at left back, either through the free transfer network or through loans. So brought him in. I'm still looking to find a backup left back. We have promoted a player from the under 19 squad, so Baines has come up from the under 19 squad to play as the understudy to Taylor, but hopefully we can keep Taylor fit for the majority of the season. Jake Garrett was a late addition, again central midfielder. He just popped up on the radar, and I thought he was too good an opportunity to turn down. A huge amount of stat spread, very similar to like Atete really is. He's got a really good broad range of stats across the whole board. A solid player in the middle of the park, and I think he'll play the majority of games for us. And then finally, Lewis Montsma came up late in the transfer window, 29-year-old centre-half. Looks far and away better than all the players we want. And when Carroll went and wouldn't come back on loan, I thought we really had to go in and make an offer for him to get a really strong first-choice centre-half in at the club. Probably play with us for a good 3 or 4 years as we establish ourselves in the Championship and maybe make a push for promotion. Either that, or if we get a job offer in to take control of one of the bigger clubs who's more equipped to move up, then we'll see. But that is the transfer window. In terms of the results so far, it's not been terrible. It was a good start that faded off a little bit. So testimonial against Aberdeen, we got beat 2-0. In the Premier Sports Cup, we got a 3-1 victory. McGlynn, Ferguson and Turner with the goals. Friendly against Blackburn, we got beat 4-1 with McGrattan getting a goal. Signings started to then start coming in from this period. So against Dunfermline Athletic in the Sports Cup, Atete got 2 goals, Young got a goal from the right-hand side, and Gilligan. Against Montrose, Atete got another double, Teasdale getting one from the left-hand side. Aberdeen, we got beat 4-1. Young getting a goal from the right hand side. Partick Thistle, first game of the season, managed to beat them 2-1. Teesdale and Young, both wingers, getting them. Young with a 93rd minute winner. So, although they're not as good defensively, they are doing the business in terms of going forward. Followed that up with an away win at Greenock Morton. Young and Teesdale scoring again, but this time the opposite way around. So, it shows you the importance of them. Dunfermline, a 1-1 draw. Young getting a goal again, so you can see he's having a fantastic start to the season. And then in the Premier Sports Cup, we got beat by Motherwell 3-1. So that was a bit disappointing. And then following that, we've had 2 blanks in the Championship against St Mirren and Hamilton. St Mirren beating us 3-0, and then Hamilton 0-0, where I think we probably should have got a goal in that game. A little bit unfortunate, but we'll move forward now, and I'll play up to 10 games in the season and give you an update where we are with the signings. 10 games in, and I'm quite keen to see Etete get off the mark and start getting some goals, so hopefully that will come soon, but we'll update you as we progress. And a fine second half performance at home against St Johnstone has managed to get us a 1-1 draw. Garrett getting an equaliser following a goal against us by Boney on the 19th minute. I think the thing to take from the game is in the match stats. We've had 19 shots, 9 on target. We've even got the possession stats against them. That with an XG of 2.14, we're unfortunate to come away with the draw, but I think it shows you that we can compete at this level. And I just think it's a matter of time before the new signings start to click and we start to get some more points more consistently on the board. So another good point against one of the teams favoured to go up this season. So let's just carry on. We've got 3 more games before the 10-game part. Etete yet to get a goal. He missed a clear header in that match. I'm still thinking once he breaks out duck, he's going to go on and get a bucket load for us. We've managed to get ourselves back in the game away at Cali Thistle. Taylor with a cross in from the left-hand side. McGrattan in the middle to slot into essentially an empty net. So McGrattan coming as a substitute on that left-hand side, working well with Taylor to get us back in the game. But Etete's missed some right howlers this game, and surely he's got to be the guy who steps up and gets us all 3 points. And it petered out to a 1-1 draw at Cali Thistle. Not a terrible result on paper, but again, looking at the stats, it's another game where we've dropped 2 points. And Tete's probably the player to take the bulk of it. Missing 2 1-on-1s, not even hitting the target. And again, his run without a goal in the league continues. I still have the feeling that when he breaks it, he's going to go on a run, but we need to get something going, because that amount of dominance, we just need to get the goals over the line to get the points on the board, because that's what it's all about. We need to keep ourselves well clear of that relegation as we turn this season around and build into the next one where we can hopefully challenge for a place in the Premier League. We followed up with a disastrous follow-up game with a 4-1 defeat at home against Wraith Rovers. 3-0 down after 25 minutes when they'd only had 3 shots on target. They had 4 shots on target in the entire game and scored all 4. Really difficult one to take this, because I think we were the better team on most part. The team played fairly average. The goalkeeper's had a bit of a stinker, and I'm really struggling to find out how to pick this team up at the minute. But we've got to start getting back to some winning ways. In terms of the league table, it's not the end of the world. We're still 5th with 10 points, but we can't have many more results like this moving forward. Maybe a little bit of a shuffle up of who's playing where, and maybe a couple of rule changes might be able to pick us up. But even with McGlynn up front, we're not breaking the net as many times as we should be. Etete still needs to break his duck, but 2 more games to go before we end the episode, and hopefully we can have some kind of positive story to come out of it before we get there. We've picked up a 3-0 hammering away at Ross County, and it's very much becoming Groundhog Day. Really struggling to get a grip on the games and getting some chances in. I mean, stats-wise, we're generally not too far away. I mean, Ross County are top of the league, so on this occasion, they've got the better set of stats. I just think on multiple occasions where we've been the stat leaders, we've just not been getting the rub of the green or the goals when we're on top of the game. But got one more game to put it right. I'll get us through to the final game of the episode, and we'll see if we can end the episode on a high, and see what we can anticipate for the second half of the season. And in the final match of the episode, we've managed a 1-1 draw at home to Morton. Again, dominant in terms of shots on target, not quite in terms of XG, but again, a little bit disappointed. We brought Nfonku on the left-hand side, Turner in on the right, and dropped Ferguson down to the defensive midfield role. again, we're making chances, we're just not finishing them. Atete has got his first assist of the season, hasn't got a goal yet, but again, we just need to get him far in, or we've got to bring in some of the old tried and tested players back in here to get some points on the board. But in terms of a league start, it's not terrible. We're in the Championship. We're sat around the kind of mid to lower table. So you go 6th place, 11 points, which we earned fairly early on. I think there's just a bit of time for the players to gel. We can maybe move up the table. I don't think promotion or top of the league is anything on the cards this season, but I think very much establishing ourselves in this division and getting a squad that's capable of competing with all teams is what to do first. I still think maybe we need to change the tactics slightly from being that counter-attacking team to being a bit more possessive paced and getting on the front foot. But overall, in terms of the first 10 games following a huge transfer window where we brought in 12 players, it's gone all right. I think the next episode is going to be the true meat in the pie as opposed to how we're going to get on for the season. But again, let us know how you think the window went, how you think we might do for the rest of the season. And until next time, enjoy your saves, enjoy your football, enjoy your Football Manager, and I will see you again soon.